All right, all right, all right. 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 Okay, enough of all that shenanigans, enough of all that intriguing music. And you may be asking yourself, okay, warp speed, what do you have for us prepared? And with that being said, good even fall to one and all. This is the Warped Speed, your interlocutor for the night, and I bid you do well of health and that you be sane of mind. Lieutenant Commander Star Log, Star Date 11020.7. And I welcome you to travel the cosmos with me, to ponder life's most important matters. Yes, we are going to be addressing topics that you may have an inkling of an idea about. You may be highly opinionated about the following matters, but I hope that you just bring that energy, make us something positive. We are here to learn. And if anything, I am here to probe your mind because I will say this: I am a curious individual that asks a lot of questions, but that does not mean anything else besides I don't have any answers for you. But I know that some of our listeners do have answers. And I know our co host for the night, the homie Ricky, I know he's more of an opinionated individual that trusts his mind state and his abilities of discernment in order to provide us a better opinion, a better idea of what things may be. So, with that being said, I hope that the homie Ricky is before us. Homie Ricky, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Okay. Homie Ricky, well, thank you very much once again for joining me right here in this broadcast where we like to say we travel the cosmos, we inquire about what the world, what existence has to offer us. And I am here to say, homie Ricky, unless you've been living in a cage, you know there is some matters that demand some consideration. These are the matters of evolution, sex, progress, and of course, conspiracy. Homie Ricky, we are talking about whether or not there are fighters that are passing themselves off as an opposite sex in order to have advantages over their fellow competitors. Yes, we are talking about Lin Yuting, a Taiwanese boxer who is now representing Taiwan in the Olympics. And of course, we are also talking about Imane Khelif, an Algerian, who just as of today, very early in the morn hours of the first day of August, current year 2024, this individual, this female, self described, beat her opponent in one of the most spectacular ways imaginable. Homie Ricky, the fight had barely begun, it had barely commenced. Apparently, it lasted all of 42 seconds, right? I think it was shorter than that. But nonetheless, all it took was one punch, one well placed punch. In fact, the only punch that I saw that landed, what you could say, fleshly. And all of a sudden, her opponent, an Italian, retired. she quit. We have a Nigerian fighter by the name of Imane Khelif, who with one punch beat a fellow Olympian representing one of the feistiest people you can think of in the world, an Italian, right? Angela Carini got stopped in the first round, less than 40 seconds in there, and she was already turning her back because she received one well placed, quote unquote, flush punch, and that was enough to say that the fight was over for her. Now, in and of itself, homie Ricky, that would be something that tantamount to what was that fighter, the one from East Los Angeles? This the little short feisty one from East Laos. She was with Golden Boy. Golden Boy did not renew her contract. She ended up going with Top Rank, Mr. Bob Arum. Do you know who I'm talking about, homie Ricky?
Yes, sir. That's Siniesa Estrada.
Super Bad Estrada. That's right. Super Bad Estrada. She holds a record for beating an opponent and knocking her out, in fact, in 7 seconds. She crossed one corner. I think she was in the blue corner, crossed to the red, threw one punch, 1, 2, boom, boom. And then her opponent was in the down and outs. And in about 7 seconds, she broke a record for the fastest knockout and defeat, especially in the female side of the sport, right? But this lady over here, Imane Sharif, or I'm probably mispronouncing that, Imane Khelif, she did something similar to that in two punches. Not a 1-2 combo, just a two punches. Apparently, she ends up destroying her opponent. Well, not really destroying homie Ricky. It was more like her opponent just said, "Okay, I've had enough," and that was it. Now,
She demoralized her, bro. She hit her on
demoralized
the
her.
nose and she
Yeah,
said, I can't go no more. She
yeah,
cried
yeah.
and took a knee when they announced Khalif as the winner. No, this is true. I know I'm
Yeah,
over
that's true.
exaggerating, but
No,
that
that is
is what
true.
occurred.
That no, all of that is true. And no, now listen, I'm not laughing about the outcome. I'm not laughing about Carini, right? I just wanted to be
You should have.
made clear, right, that when I chuckle at the way that you phrase that, I'm not intentionally trying to make fun of Angela Carini. If anything, over here at the Warp Speed Life at Warp Speed show, and also at your show, the Homie Ricky podcast, we never ridicule, we never make fun of the life of a fighter, right? We may be honest, we may be brutally honest, and in some sense, maybe you can say that may be a type of ridicule for some of these fighters' careers, but no, we try to uphold the bravery, the courage, the athleticism that these fighters that would otherwise be standard men and women, they display every day in order to perform before the masses in a violent affair called the boxing, right? So we're not laughing about that. I'm not laughing about that. I'm just laughing about how you described it, which is exactly like that. It is quite dramatic. There is a fighter that is an Olympian. She takes, in my opinion, one punch to the nose. It wasn't that flush. She actually turned with the punch, right? And she ends up turning her back, which is bad enough, right? She takes a knee. She starts to ball. She ignores her competitor, her victor, and she, for the most part, remains pretty silent about it, right? But exactly the way that you described it, homie Ricky, that's exactly what happened. Now, I ask you this, right? Why the big fuss? Why is this a matter of controversy in your opinion? What is it about this fighter, Khalif? What is it about this fighter in the way that she beat this Italian? Why is it so controversial? Can you give us a bit of a background?
So, there's been a change in this world where, it's everybody has a different opinion, whether it's good or bad. But it's coming, and there's a change coming, changing of the guard of essentially how and what people look like. We're talking about identity, how people identify themselves, how they feel, how they associate themselves. You know, who am I? Right? That's the overall thing. Like, that's the theme. That's the concept. Who am I? Right? You know, everything isn't black and white anymore. Not just man and woman. Nowadays, it's I'm look. I'm not the most educated about this topic, but there's the whole alphabet. There's this spectrum, and everybody feels or identifies a certain type of way. Anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. Nowadays, right? These people, or just not these people, just people that fit in that spectrum are trying to assert themselves basically to humanity and letting them know we've been here for a really long time and we want to give we want to be part of the black and white. There's a lot of gray space and they're trying to slowly but surely assert themselves, right? It's equatable to the civil rights movement and all of the things that occurred with Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Trans people, LGBT, they're trying to assert themselves into the everyday activities and just be common and just let people know we are just like you. And this is where the problem occurs, that no, you aren't just like me. See, you look at me, I'm a man. You can tell because I have these features. It's pretty evident, I'm not, how do I say, otherness, right? It's very transparent. Oh, he's got facial hair, soft spoken voice, whatever the case may be, but you can see the bone, the muscles. Okay, that's a dude, right? It's
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
and
whoa, whoa,
then
whoa, 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 whoa! Wait! What? Who are you talking about?
I'm just talking about myself right now. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
okay, yeah. But why are
okay,
you
so
talking about you being a man, though?
no, it's just like gender. Like, oh, that's a dude. You know what I mean? So what's going on with this fighter?
Okay.
Can you repeat the name? It was not
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
Lee
Imane
yu-ting. It
Khelif.
was Imane
There's Imane
Khelif.
Khelif, and then this is the Algerian fighter that just fought today, and I think Lin Yutin, the Taiwanese, she's gonna be fighting tomorrow. And I do say, well, okay. Before I describe any sexist or any, you know, terms, pronouns or whatever, continue on with what you're going on
Okay,
from.
so that's just a little preface. It's a little context. So
Yeah.
what's occurred is with Imani Khalif, there's this big old situation where she says, "I'm a woman. I am a woman. I am not. I'm not trans. I am a female competing versus female." That's how she interprets. She's like, "I know who I am. Whoop de whoop. This is as simple as it is." The IOC
Uh,
and every other committee, there's basis that she's failed the test where she has testosterone or has an XX chromosome or some type of thing. Basically, a
yeah.
lot of people are saying, no, that's trans and that is a dude, right? I'm just
Mhm.
breaking it very simple, right? But she don't associate herself like as such. And maybe the media or the arguments is like, no, there's some certain level of propaganda from certain foreign media outlets that are trying to say that Imani Khalif is trans when in reality she's a woman. So that's the fuzz that's going on. And it was highlighted today as this woman is competing when she landed her right hand, and her fellow opponent, another Olympian, the Italian, she just quit. She said no mas,
Mhm.
right? And so that's basically what the controversy is going on about. That's as simple as it is for right now. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay. So then, man, there is no tact with you, right? There is really no, like smoothing, slathering the butter. It's just like get to the point, which is what the point, the matter is, right? It is alleged that both Imani Khalif and this other fighter, Lin Yutin, they may be men, right? And the reason why it is presupposed that by many that they may be men is because they were actually disqualified from an organization, right, that allows these women to fight, right? The
Correct.
IBA, the IBF, the IBA. This is an organization that oversees women's world boxing championship levels and things of that sort. Basically, they said that they disqualified both of these individuals because the results of some tests that they performed, right, indicated that they weren't eligible to compete against women, right? Now, the controversy is now that the Olympic Committee, the International Olympic Committee, IOL or whatever, um, they have permitted these two individuals to fight in the women's class of boxing, right? Disregarding and going against the IBA, which for all intents and purposes disqualified them because whatever evidence that they have that they aren't eligible to fight against women, that right there is obviously a damning situation. Now, look, it's a little messy, it's a little cloudy, right? We're uncertain what those tests are, right? But a lot of the people that are reacting to the news of the day, which is these two fighters, really are going back to a fight that Imane Khelif had about 2 years ago against a Mexican fighter. We know how feisty Mexican fighters are. She was fighting, this is a Mexican boxer. This was not the Olympics. This was some qualifier for the IBA, right? And
Correct.
the Mexican went for 3 rounds with this Algerian, and the Mexican was getting standing 8 counts. Like there was like 3 of them in that match. Right,
Yeah.
she lost convincingly. I think she ended up being stopped at the 3rd round at the end of the day, and then they interviewed her, and she ended up saying that she'd never been hurt or felt that bad fighting any person in her life, and that includes sparring and fighting with men. And that's an incredible statement, right? Because
Absolutely.
well, you know
It's a dangerous
Mexicans, right?
statement.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
is a
dangerous
dangerous
statement.
statement. Yeah, dangerous statement. It's the kind of statement that will help build a fighter's career, right? That's one of those things that built the hype around Triple G, Gennady
Correct.
Gennadovich Golovkin, right? He killed an individual in the ring, and he was knocking out everybody, and everybody kept saying that he was the hardest puncher that they've ever felt. They developed a legend that preceded that preceded them.
Absolutely. Usually, when you hear those narratives, people glamorize it. Like, oh my
Yes.
gosh, like, dude, he catches bodies. This dude is fucking evil Knievel, like the baddest dude in the world. You know what I mean? But
Uh-huh. But the only reason it didn't happen with Imane Khalif, right, is because what transpired after that fight. After that fight, the IBA disqualified both of these. I think Shalif ended up getting. She won a bronze, right, and they stripped that away from her. And the curious thing about the fact that both of these fighters were disqualified is that they had rights to appeal that decision, right? And both of those fighters chose not to.
yeah,
Now, that's a curious thing. Now, I want to look. The reason why we're discussing these things right here, right, is because it is making the rounds that these fighters are likely men that are transsexual or transgender. I'm confused sometimes which is which, but that they may be biological born men that may have transitioned and may have become more feminine as a result of things such as testosterone, right? One of the things that would disqualify a fighter and it would deem them to be more manly was, let's say, a female fighter taking testosterone, right? Or vice versa, a man taking estrogen levels, but the estrogen levels aren't adequate enough to counterbalance the natural testosterone levels that they would have if they are natural biological men, right? But that's not what the IBA used, right? In fact, I just want to read to you, just in the case of lean yu-ting. I
right?
want to read to
wait,
you. I
wait,
ended
say
up
that.
finding this
Can you
out
repeat
under
that
the
again? Because
IBA's.
can you repeat that again? Because your mic, I don't know, you were messing with your mic, so it was all muffled.
Oh, so I discovered in the case of Lin Yutin, right? The IBA's official statement. The IBA, which is called the International Boxing Association, they made these statements most recently with regards to the fighters' participation in this year's Paris Olympic Games 2024. And they state, at least in the case of Lin Yutin, they say, quote, on March 24, 2023, IBA disqualified athletes Yin Yutin and Imane Khelif from the IBA Women's World Boxing Championship New Delhi 2023. I think that's in India or something to that effect. This disqualification was a result of their failure to meet the eligible criteria for participating in the women's competition, as set and laid out in the IBA regulations. This decision, made after a meticulous review, was extremely important and necessary to uphold the levels of fairness and utmost integrity of the competition. Right now, it starts off well enough, right? They performed some kind of testing
Mm-hmm.
and they failed to meet that criteria. We are uncertain what that criteria is so far, right? But they are saying that they disqualified him because they wanted to uphold the level of fairness for all and the integrity of competition. Now, I agree with that. Whenever we can, we just want a competitive opportunity and we want fairness, right? Whenever we
Yep.
can, we would always try to. Oh, who's that?
Hey, how's my
Machín, ¿cómo
mic?
está?
Hey, how's my mic?
Yo, is that Imane Khelif?
Yo, can you hear me or not?
Yeah, we could hear
Yeah,
you,
I can hear you, bro. There's
man.
just an echo on somebody's like chamber.
It ain't
You know
not
what I mean?
me.
There's a,
No,
Got
it
you. I
ain't not
think
me.
it's me, huh?
Ah, you're good.
yeah,
You're
Yeah.
good.
Hold on, hon. Hold on, hon.
yeah, it's on you, bro. I think you have to silence your computer or something if you're on your phone.
Okay, it's fine. Dream, you sound clear, loud and clear. Now let's continue on with the second statement, the second paragraph that they, well, actually the third, right? They continue. And they say, point to note. This is very important, guys. This is not the highlighted part, but these are the clues. Point to note. The athletes did not undergo a testosterone examination, but were subject to a separate and recognized test whereby the specifics remain confidential. The test conclusively indicated that both athletes did not meet the required necessary eligible criteria and were found to have competitive advantages over other female competitors. Now, they did not undergo a testosterone examination. Now, the reason why testosterone would have been a very crucial test to perform on them is because we do know that under the male and female body types, men, we have way higher levels of testosterone than we do have of estrogen. Men has estrogen, yes, we do. We have a feminine side, ladies and gentlemen. And women also have testosterone, but they have negligible, nominal levels, and vice versa, right? We are the opposite in that. And also we also have reproductive organs that differ in appearance to one another, and not only in the appearance but also in the functionality, right? Now, they did not perform a testosterone level. Now, testosterone level examination. Now, that's important because, if we were to perform a test on an individual and we saw that testosterone levels were very, very high, but they were, for the most part, you look at them and you check their testosterone levels, that would be a clear indication that if they look like a man and they have testosterone levels like a man, guess what? A man is a man, right? Now, if you ended up performing the same testosterone testing on a female and she had way higher levels of testosterone than what is naturally found in the women, and we do know they fluctuate because of athleticism and sports activities, but nonetheless, if they were to be greater than what you would see in nature and they look like a female, then they, for the most part, should likely be of the sex feminine, right? But they did not perform any of those things. And it's also telling because testosterone is an advantage for both men and women. It doesn't matter. If a man takes more testosterone, it's going to behoove him. And this is athleticism, his musculature, his physicality, his power. Same would apply for women. Now, if a man decides to take estrogen, it's not going to benefit him. He's going to become more feminine. The musculature is going to change. It's going to debilitate. It's going to weaken. And it's similarly going to function for the female. She's going to develop organs and body parts that are more feminine in nature, like bigger breasts and whatnot. And we know that massive breasts do not behoove a female fighter. That's why they have to get these types of bras that strap them back, right? Or some fighters actually, go through mastectomies to make sure that their
all right.
bosoms.
Hold on. Let me
Long
ask
story
you a
short. Long
question.
story short. Wait. What I'm trying to get at is this. Don't interrupt me, homie Ricky.
Man,
Don't do
bro.
that ever again.
You got
Don't do
more
that
filler than
ever
The Walking
again.
Dead.
So what I'm trying to get at is this, guys. If one of the telltale signs that a man is a man and a woman is a woman and that they're cheating or not would be to test in testosterone, and they decide not to do that, but yet they perform another type of test that can recognize whether they are male or female, can you postulate, can you guess what other kind of testing could prove that a fighter is a male or female? Can you tell me, if you looked at somebody, what would tell you that they're a man?
The eye test?
Nope, nope. Because a man can
Damn.
have long hair and he could shave his face and he could have very feminine traits. A woman could cut her hair short and be a weightlifter, and she could have facial features like a man, but doesn't make him like a man. Guess what? In my opinion, can tell you if a man is a man and a woman is a woman. The sexual organ. If you pull down the pant,
Whoa.
right?
Whoa. I mean, isn't that the eye test?
Exactly.
Whoa.
Duh.
Like, look, bro, you got a big bulge right there, dude. I mean, dude. Hey, Catalina, what's that bulge there, dude?
That's
Okay,
Nah, look.
so
Hold on, bro. All right,
Go ahead, Rick.
look, I'm hearing a nasty ass echo, bro.
It's you now because I hear it through you guys. Like I turned off my mic and everything. Like it's just me and hold on, let me see if my shit.
yeah, I just disconnected my mic too.
Is it me?
Wait, it's actually me.
Yeah, see it's you, dude. Yeah, so
all right, for sure, yeah, because I was madly disturbing. No, so
now you're good. Now you're good.
look, I'm gonna have to refresh my page because it's nasty on my end.
I'm echoing too?
Nah, you're not echoing. I am echoing for sure.
Okay. But I think it was Rick. Rick was echoing a lot. But yeah, dude. Yeah, if this guy, what's his name?
Imane Khelif.
Imane Khelif. All right, so your shit is showing up like something like I forget what XY chromosome or whatever. If you got that shit, like you're a man. Like that's just what it is, bro. Like, I mean, like this whole thing is crazy, bro. Like they need to make a division of just trans people who are just like in the middle, and they need to make their own division because they're their own type of people and they don't want to fight men. So that's what it is, So that shit's sad, bro. What happened in the Olympics, like. I don't know how that happened, like how they let all that happen. I guess she what she do? She ended up doing a fighting against it or something like that, so she can be in the Olympics. Like she ended up doing a I forget what it's called. You just said it earlier, but
Like an appeal.
yeah, like an appeal, so she can actually fight. So I think the fact that they let her fight, it's kind of crazy, bro. Like, and it happens to happen in their last year of the Olympics. They said I think there's not gonna be any boxing Olympics after this, so it is kind of messed up, man.
What's very interesting, bro, is that both of these competitors have been stripped of their previous medals, whether it was bronze or silver, right? And they've done biochemical tests
Yep.
where they failed right? And that's why they were stripped. In the biggest of stages, when everybody is watching the whole world, you guys said that it's crazy. No, there's a reason and a purpose, an intent behind why they're doing this. Every single time that they're trying to, I guess, quote unquote, educate us in this world and kind of like in the name of progress, right? There always has to be a face because, that's going to usually go along with the proper message. Opening ceremonies, bro, in Paris, right? And in the opening ceremony of Paris, the Olympic Games, do you guys saw the opening ceremony, the Last Supper display of all of these transgenders and
Yeah,
transhumans?
yeah. We saw that.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
I mostly
the
heard
whole
about it.
world saw it. Everybody in social media saw it. And my
Yeah.
question is this: if you guys are trying to, trans people are trying to assert themselves with humanity and compete in what we deem pure and Olympic innocent games of trying to be a clean, a pure athlete, not be on the juice, not trying to hide your identity and mask yourself as and claim yourself that you're something that you're not, or whatever the case may be, and not disclose that certain level of information, which I think is very important because you're putting people's life in danger, not just careers, their life, right? Especially when it comes down to the sport of boxing or wrestling, where your job is to, force yourself, your strength, your attributes, right? Your culture, your last name, your blood, and like hurt your opponent. This isn't swimming laps. This isn't running in circuits, right? This isn't gymnastics and, doing amazing, dynamic backflips, No, this is bone to face, right? So,
No headgear.
correct. No longer no headgear. You're putting women's life at risk against, a questionable human being. You should have no shadow of doubt that this person has elevated levels of testosterone. Either there's a question about their identity, or is this person on the juice? Why is there high levels of testosterone in the first place? If you have high levels of testosterone, it's either A or B, and you're not deemed to fit. But the opening ceremony of the Paris Olympic Games, they showed me their true intention and their motives and their agenda of what they're trying to do moving forward. And it
What
starts
is that,
with,
homie Ricky?
well, you saw it today. They want these two Olympian competitors, Khelif and the fighter from Taiwan, that were deemed ineligible in previous games. They want that to be the face of female boxing and eventually the face of Olympian sports athletes. Again, everything is all about trying to assert themselves into the common folk.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And
So
that's the way I'm looking at this. Because look, everything, I know they were like, oh, keep your politics out of my sport. Everything has always been political. There's always been symbols, imagery, competitors. It's apparent and obvious what they're trying to do. Then you got to ask yourself, who's the people behind this? It's the president of the Paralympic Committee. It's the
mhm.
IOC. It's, I don't know, Algeria's committee as well. They're the one that are allowing this. Everyone that's allowing this is all culpable.
Okay.
I'm not going to blame this Olympian boxer, Khalif.
Mhm.
If she's allowed to, I'm not saying this is a crime or anything, but if she's allowed to compete, why shouldn't she go after her aspirations of being a gold medal and be that poster child and on the front page of ESPN magazine and the cover be like, I'm the first trans? Why shouldn't she? If you
Because
guys are
she's a
allowing her to damage women, is she supposed to be like, nah, the world is not ready for me? No, this is
Yeah.
history for her people and her message and what she's trying to do. Now, of course, she doesn't associate herself as trans. She says, I'm a woman.
Well,
So
so
this
homie
is
Ricky, there's
the
a couple of
outcry.
things.
This is the outcry.
Yeah, there's a couple of things that were, well, you're jumping the gun on one matter, right? Which is that Imane Khelif is a trans individual. I don't even think we've gotten there, right? I actually, before we go there, because I don't think that is the case, right? I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think that Imane
Wow.
Khalif is trans, right? We'll get to why I think that is the case, but I
No,
want to
get
talk
into it
about
right now.
no, I want to talk about the agenda, right? Because so see, because I think that's very important, right? Let's just hash that out, right? We do know that the creative mind behind the whole Christian Jesus Last Supper, 12 disciples, the betrayal at the end, because that's really why it's called the Last Supper. Nobody seems to focus on that part. That I guess one of his disciples he betrays Jesus Christ. And that is the
Yeah.
reason why it's called the Last Supper. He gathers them together. He tells him, hey, you know what? Before the rooster crows 3 times, you would have deceived me. I think that was uh what's his name? Judas, right?
Yeah.
There was two Judases actually. There was two Judases, but there was one Judas. And um, long story short, this is a very famous painting by Michelangelo, one of the Renaissance Italian artists, and it really is a masterpiece. It's a beautiful,
I'm still
beautiful.
echoing, huh?
No, you're good. You're good.
All right, cool.
Um, but nonetheless, the this artistic mind behind the idea that he was gonna put up a lot of transsexuals, transvestites, this semi-naked individual painted in blue with the 10-year-old kid watching it and sitting next to them. That guy who put him there is a a gay Jewish individual, right? Now, if he had been gay and Christian, he wouldn't have done that, right? Because he would have not wanted to disrespect Jesus Christ. He wouldn't have wanted to disrespect Catholics, Christians, uh, any of those, the Baptists, the evangelicals. He wouldn't have done that. But because he is of a different denomination, he don't care about Jesus.
We
The
know this.
Jewish,
We know this. So
yeah,
carry
yeah, yeah.
on.
So carry on. The
Okay.
other girl, the one that was right up in the middle, this super heavy individual, super overweight individual, was herself a gay, queer, Jewish individual. What am I trying to get at? There is an agenda between these gay Jewish individuals to attack the Christian faith. Now, this is not a scathing, all encompassing attack on Jewish folk. We know that that is not the case. We just know that in this case, these two individual gay Jews decided that it was fair and square to attack one of the most populated, most religious, powerful religious out there. That's an intentional effort to disrespect. So, in the sense of propaganda and what they plan are, that is what they plan to do. They did plan to offend. So, in that case, yes, I do understand that there is an agenda. But as far as what you're trying to imply, which is Imane Khalif is part of that agenda because they're trying to force a male transition into a female as Victor in this sport. Well, let me tell you something, homie Ricky. Did that fighter, if that fighter is in fact a male turned into female, does that gain you respect just because she identifies as female? No, because we've never cared about cheaters in the sport of boxing, right? We always cared about the people that work hard, that take on, as close to a fair as fight as possible, and they overcome and continue to do so, right? This is why people like Canelo Alvarez and you know Terence Crawford or Marcus or whoever, Pacquiao, they get the acclaims, they get the plaudits because they do it the right way. If this agenda of these hateful individuals that are trying to impose their sexual revolutionary minds and ideas onto the world by putting them up there at the biggest sporting event that only takes place once every 4 years, the Olympics. If they try to force us in there, guess what? They're not gonna succeed. Nobody is gonna give them the respect because all they think is that this is not fair.
Yo,
Look,
man, my bad. Uh,
No,
yeah,
I
no,
hear you, man. Keep
yeah,
keep
it's
going.
not, yeah, I was like waiting for you to say more, but yeah, dude, it's yeah, it's not fair. I felt bad for the other chick though from Italy. I think her dreams were really shattered because somebody else, um, you
She
know,
quit, bro.
whoa,
yeah,
whoa,
no,
whoa, whoa, whoa! You
Dude,
you
she
actually
freaking quit.
you're sympathizing with the Italian?
yeah,
Yeah, you can't sympathize with the
Whoa!
Italian, bro. Dude, she quit. Bro, she
yeah, no,
dishonored her nation after one punch.
no, she's actually broken like orbital bones before, bro. Like the other chick, she fought a chick from, I think she was like Mexican or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
She fought her in the world championship, bro. Like she tore her up, bro. Like she like broke her orbital bone, bro. Like, so I'm pretty sure she wasn't trying to go through all that, bro. Like for her to not get paid and nothing like that, it's like, man, I like it sucks, man. Like it sucks. Like she shouldn't have fought there, and you don't know who you're gonna fight. You know, that's the thing when you go into the Olympics, you find out the day of, and then you gotta fight. You know, so she was probably hoping that it wasn't her. You know, so it is what it is. I mean, she doesn't have to fight, bro. Like that that actually got her some opportunity in Jake Paul. You know, so it's
Why
like
do you
long,
keep why do people keep saying that with Jake Paul?
huh? Because he you didn't see the post?
Nah,
No.
nah. I don't watch Jake Paul, bro. Come on. So he signed
Well,
her or some shit?
no, it's just it was on social media, man. It's
What
on
did he
Instagram, bro.
say?
It's he pretty much said like, oh, like I'll put you on a card or something like that. You know,
To the
like
quitter Italian.
yeah, like she,
Wow.
Listen, bro.
yeah,
That woman Angela, quitter, bro. What a quitter, bro. Listen.
nah,
Dude, she had
fuck
the
that.
opportunity. First and foremost, bro, she got hit with the first right hand that the other chick threw. Talk about defense, bro. Talk about parrying. And she quit. She already had a losing mentality. The minute her opponent was the draw, she was always like, "Fuck, dude. How am I supposed to beat this dude?" We don't even know if this person is the dude. We just know that she had highly elevated things.
Probably did her research.
You know what I mean? Dude, the specifics remain confidential, right? They disqualified her in the past, but they don't want to disclose certain information. Now, I don't know if it falls under, doctor patient confidentiality or whatever the case may be, but this is where things are going to get very, very interesting, right?
Mhm.
Because, like, again, if I'm putting my daughter up against, I want equal treatment. I want my daughter, that's a female, to fight another female. I'm not going to put her up against a male, right? Now, again, look, so we don't even know that. That girl, Angela, she's already having a preconceived notion of who her opponent is. And she was already looking to throw in the towel the minute she started getting her ass kicked.
No,
For
she just
us,
wanted
it
to
was
make
the first punch that landed. Dude, I'm not saying I would dishonor her, but I'd be like, bro, you had the world on the tip of your fingers where you could have, quote unquote, beaten this man if that's what you want to do, because that's why she quit.
nah, bro.
I don't think we've ever seen an Olympian quit after one punch landed on them, whether it's male or female.
Well, this is where the one of those instances because it's
That's
like
what I'm saying.
it's
She she
never
didn't she
about.
wasn't thinking about her orbital bone or her head bouncing off the canvas and losing vision because her occipital lobe went out. No,
She
dude,
wanted to fill
it's
her out.
because she was like, I'm gonna make a statement.
Yeah,
And I
I
want people
agree.
to sympathize, and it fits with the narrative that this female Khalid or whoever, is a dude. That's the
Yeah,
statement that she
yeah,
tried to make.
yeah.
So again,
So
we have to really look at it this from an objective standpoint and really, like, again, whoever is allowing these people to compete, these trans people to compete, they're the ones that are at fault. It's Angela's duty and responsibility to show valiant effort, bravery,
No, it's
and
not.
her skills that the Italian is better than the Algerian.
No, it's not. If
She
she's
didn't
not
do
getting
that. She
paid,
fucking quit, bro. We can't
she's
respect
not getting
quitters, bro.
paid. She's not getting paid, so she's obligated to do what the hell she's wanted. Like she's not in a contract. She's not forfeiting anything. It's not like she walked out the ring like that other dude did against Ajagba. And that pretty much fucked up the contract. There is no contract. She's not fighting for anything but for her own pride. Like she doesn't really, you know, she's not trying to break anything, bro. Like this is the amateurs for what?
What do you mean? For gold
No,
medal,
no,
bro. Most
no.
gold
Oh
medal,
my,
hold on.
this is not
Most
like
gold
that,
medal
Dream.
winners, they get compensated.
Nah,
Their country reveres them. They get compensated most of the time. Most of the time.
she's
You know what I
getting
mean?
all the love. She's getting love
No,
in her
no,
country,
no.
bro.
That no, well, no, well, it's actually, look, you can actually make your Olympic participation into a lucrative career. In fact, the homie Ricky and I, we were just talking about that Jalalov guy, that guy who's beating Richard Torres from Fresno on 2 occasions. I think he even knocked him out in one time, or maybe even twice, right? This guy is a pro, and he just went back into the Olympics to participate. Why would you participate in the Olympics when you're already fighting as a pro? Why? Because there's rewards to it. It obviously pays well. It obviously travels you around the world. There's probably all kinds of perks accompanying it, not only nutritional wise, but probably at the places that you stay, the people that you meet. Not everything has to be about the biggest reward. Some of it could just be the interest around your treatment, right? So there is definitely some recompense, some rewards. Perhaps not the most financial ones. Dream, I could agree with you there, but no, no, no. The Olympics, before the eyes of the world, they are the biggest sporting event in the world. Did you know that approximately 3 billion people had the opportunity to view the introduction of the Olympic ceremony? That is half of the world that exists and has a life. Humankind watched the ceremony in record breaking numbers. The Olympics are definitely one of the biggest exhibition points in a fighter's life, if they can even get there, right? So for Amanda Carini to have forfeited the opportunity to fight and represent her country, I think it's a missed opportunity. All because I do believe there is some truth to what homie Ricky is saying, which is that she did it to make a statement. Now, no, no. Before we even chastise her for doing so, right? Let's just understand this. People
She
do
took a
have to
knee like
start.
Colin Kaepernick, bro.
Wait. I know, but listen. Before we go there, and we start belittling her for quitting and for taking a knee and stuff like that, let's admit there has to be people that stands up to the lunacy, right? The people that are attacking and besmirching a very big religion like Christianity, Catholicism, Protestantism, evangelicals, all of those people that care about Jesus, even Muslims, all of those people should make a statement when somebody decides to assault their character, because for the most part a lot of people's character is formed and shaped by their religious beliefs, their credences. So if she decided to make a statement that says, I'm not with the effery, I'm not gonna fight this individual, which I suspect is a man, that in and of itself is a powerful message that more people have to stand up and express in order for this lunacy to end. We will have some justice. We will have some equality if people decide they don't want to fight. Now, this is where I disagree with why she needed to make the statement. This is where I disagree. I don't think Imane Khelif is actually a man. I don't think that. I think, if anything, she is what nowadays in modern parlance is called as an intersex individual, where previously it was known as a hermaphrodite. And if anybody knows what a hermaphrodite is, it is an individual that was born with two sexes, right? There is different types of hermaphrodites. There is the hermaphrodite that has both a male genitalia and a female genitalia. Yes, there are people that are born with two genitalias, a vagina and a penis. And then there are people that are born with the outside member, a penis, but the internal organs are feminine reproductive organs. In other words, they have female reproductive organs. They have ovaries. They produce menstrual periods. They have eggs, but the outside part is just a penis. It's a phallus.
Those.
So
And
are they like
then
stacked on top of one another, bro?
no, no, no.
Those.
It depends. It depends. We're not trying to make light of it. There is people like that, and then there are people that
Wow.
the external member is a
Those.
vagina, but inside they only produce sperm, right? So that would account for the testosterone levels. That would account for why Imane Khelif and yu-ting would have been maybe asked to pull down their pants and display their sexual reproductive organs, and they would have seen something that resembles a man, and they would have testosterone levels more semblant and noticeable in a man's physique, but the reproductive organs would be feminine. That is the only way that I can synthesize the contradictions between what the IBA is saying and the way that the International Olympic Committee decided to approve these individuals for fighting in the sex that they best identify as. And in fact, here's the thing, they may not only identify as female. In fact, the reproductive organs may just say that they are female. You see what I'm saying?
Speed.
Those are the people. Those are the people who need to be in the Olympics on their own, going at it. You know, no other male or female. Like those are the people that you just said right now. Those whatever you said, they need to be.
Hermaphrodites.
They need
Hermaphrodites.
to have their own division and have them go at it. You know,
Bro,
so
did you read Adi Medi's
No, no,
comment, bro?
I'm about to read him. Look, okay, wait up, Dream, and
It's fucking gold, bro.
I'm gonna actually go against what you just stated, right? But let's just read a
No,
couple of them because
there should be a bridge between man and female, and that gray space should be for the trans community to compete. You know, there is a room for them, and it's against competing against each other. Not a
yeah,
trans fighting a man, not a trans fighting a female. If you're trans, get your trans athletes, popularize the same sport, but for your division, and just compete there. That's it.
so
No
absolutely.
asterisks. There's room for you guys. I'm sorry. There's room for them, but it has to be competing against one another. That's it. It's very simple. It's very simple. Like this is not complicated, but it becomes complicated when people are trying to assert their narratives, their propaganda, what they seem fit against years of tradition, right? That's when things become, you know, puzzling. Becomes puzzling.
look, guys, let's just read a couple of our commenters' comments. Of course, good even for to Mr. Vince Vargas, El Pachuco, Arimeri. Thank you very much for joining us. I love my people. I love seeing these guys.
Fucking A, dude.
This is Arimeri. Not even a hello, man. He just like it just lights up in there and he says, "This is great for Oscar de la Hoya. Now his wife can compete in the Olympics." Wow. I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't want to laugh too much about it, right? But you
Dude,
know
that's
what he's trying to
gold,
get at.
bro.
Oh my
That's
goodness, my
gold,
good.
bro.
And he goes on. He says, "What makes me sad is that I thought the U.S. would have had the first trans Olympic boxer. Can't believe we're behind in that." And you know, to tell you the truth, that is so true. That is such an honest statement. The U.S. has been part and parcel responsible for the propagation of the matters of sexual identification, more so over any other Western country, right? And it happens to be that little ass Taiwan and little ass Algeria is the one that is supposed to be representing the trans community, even though I believe that perhaps those are more hermaphrodites and not so much transsexual, transgender, or whatever these these people are called. I really don't know. I'm just ignorant, guys. He says we've had a trans candidate in the running, but no, she decided to be a vice president. Oh God, oh my God, Arimedi, you're probably gonna get her channel. Do you guys ever get the feeling that Arimedi's just trying to get her channel like blocked or something? Because this is like too much, man. I don't know how he gets away with it. But he says, oh, Mr. Vince Vargas says, you're wrong. He remembers those days. Remember those days, homie Ricky?
Yeah, they're around the corner, man. I just gotta fix my laptop.
Yeah, yeah,
Can't
yeah.
take my desktop. You know what I mean? I gotta bring my laptop to be able to make those colorful thumbnails and stuff for that. But yeah, man, just a little technical difficulties. That's all it is.
Mr. Vince Vargas is drinking some Core Light pints at home, listening to YouTube music on his TV. That's awesome. That's the life right there. Getting ready for the weekend. Eddie Medi says, bro, can you straighten up the huge ass bulge and him, her, she, he trunks? If a trans boxer wore her trunks acoustic, we would see her balls.
That's
I was
fucking
like,
funny, bro.
he wears those funny old 1970s Muhammad Ali shorts, and he writes them all the way up. Oh man, as a proud, this one's gonna be a tongue twister, guys. As a proud lesbian, two-spirited, bisexual, queer, they, them, who identifies as a pansexual, neutral gender, homo sapien, I was offended by this opening ceremony of the Olympics. What has the world come to? I couldn't have said it myself. And Run That Media says, I'm hearing that the trans boxers might not be trans. Run That Media. Hey, are you a Chicano, Run That Media? Hey, man, I don't know what happened to you, but there was a post that you put up there. And, of course, me and Run That Media, which is, if I'm not mistaken, this is going to be my a good pal, almost a brother, Acapulco Cal. Cal Paradox, and me and him always just troll each other. He posts the videos and he trolls, and I troll him and he trolls me, and then we're just going back. I'm just trying to do it to like instigate some conversation so people can hop on and start like chiming in. I hope it works, Acapulco. Mr. Vince Vargas is just barfing. Just trying to be fair as that person claims to be a woman. Okay, look, guys, what is evolution, right?
Oh
Evolution
man.
is described as the process that results in changes in the genetic material of a population over time. Evolution reflects the adaptations of organisms to their changing environments and can result in altered genes, novel traits, and new species. Right now, if you guys read comic books, there is a very old, long-running series. It's called the X-Men. I'm sure that you watched all the Marvel movies, Wolverine, Scott, not Scott LaRock, but Scott, whatever his name is. He's the guy that shoots out lasers.
Cyclops.
Cyclops, Jean Grey, who is otherwise known as the Phoenix. I think they had the Scarlet Witch. They've had all of these fighters, right? Nightcrawler and all of these things. I only know some of them now,
Beast,
because they used to
Magneto.
Beast. Yeah, that's right. Magneto, Captain, Xavier. Yeah, all
Gambit,
of those guys.
Rogue.
Gambit was my favorite, man. That guy was cool. He used to shuffle cards. He'd be like a little prankster. He'd be dazzling people with this magic cards, and then all of a sudden he'd just throw him like ninja stars, and they would explode. He was cool, man.
Yeah,
But
man. There's
anyways,
genetic mutants. This is
yeah,
what's
they are
happening in the
genetic
world.
mutant. Well, so mutations are natural, right? Mutations occur in nature. Depending on what the body and the experience of a human being goes through as they reproduce, they alter their genes. I think gene alteration happens every 7 years or so, right? And so from 7, 14, 21, and so forth, that's when your genes go through changes. That's why it's always very important that if it happens to be a very high solar year, that you protect yourself on the solar gamma rays that may attack in a very high solar activity year, because if it happens to be that you turn 7 years of a cycle of biological gene alteration, and one of those years, that's when you can actually start subjecting yourself to cancerous levels and things of that sort, right? So always wear your sunblock.
What
You're
are you
like, what?
talking about?
That does, I know, that doesn't make sense, right? But anyways, mutations occur because the experience of the individual.
Because Darwin told us, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, but well, Darwin doesn't tell us nothing. Darwin only tells us what he observes, and he observes that creatures change due to their need to adapt to their environments. Right? Like I always tell my son, son, if you want to be a basketball player, you have to hop, stretch your arms, hop and hop and hop, hop as if you're telling your body you need to reach something high, and before long your your genes, since they are quite intelligent, they will start changing because you're telling the body, I need to reach something, I need to be able to hop. So then you're going to develop the ability to hop or to reach higher, and when you reproduce, your progeny is likely going to have those traits passed along. That is mutation, that is evolution, right? Now, the whole story of the X-Men, some have speculated that it really is the story of the sexual revolution, in particular the homosexual revolution, right? They were called freaks, which many people known back in the day as queer. Queer just only means weird. That's what uncanny means. The uncanny X-Men means the weird X-Man. X-Man, men, women, women, men, right? They're X, what they were before, men,
The XX
right?
Men.
The XX men, right? So you're probably like, okay, whatever, right? What they're trying to tell you in those Marvel stories going back 70 years or so now is that these evolutions, these things should improve humankind over the long run, right? Now, I ask you one thing, right, guys? If you become somebody, a very bulky, strong individual, is it easy to maneuver your body when you're a very physically huge, muscly individual, very bulky? Would you say that it behooves you, homie Ricky or Dream, to be particularly big and bulky and muscular?
Um, Me, not necessarily. Not for me to be strong or feel strong or capable to be able to do whatever it is that I need to do. You know what I mean? I don't need to necessarily be bulky, because if I'm gonna be bulky like that, then I'm gonna be slow, and I want to be like agile and have good mobility. I want to be like solid, but I'm not trying to be like
Yes.
fucking the not like what's the thing? I don't want to be the thing from Fantastic Four.
Or the Hulk?
Yeah, yeah. And there's
I
like
don't
a
mind the
good.
Hulk, because the Hulk has amazing athleticism. Right? The motherfucker can jump moons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Well, I don't know. Well, I don't know if he can jump moons, but I mean, you fucking go from like Grand Canyon to Grand Canyon type of thing. You know, that dude can like leap miles, bro.
Yeah, what about you, Dream? Does it behoove you to be particularly bulky, big, muscular, like when your pecs, sticking out and your
no,
traps,
I'm
like
not trying to be
making
no
you
bodybuilder.
necklace?
Hell
Okay,
no.
why wouldn't you though? Dream, can you think of any reasons for why you wouldn't want to be a crazy looking bodybuilder?
Because you
well,
can't
yeah.
scratch your back.
You want to be like you want to be like The Rock. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay,
But
what is the Rock like? What is the Rock like?
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah, how is he like?
You never seen him before?
Yeah, no, I want the people. I want you to
Nah,
get
nah.
to
Listen,
why
listen.
you say that. Why do you say the Rock?
Go back
Oh,
to your X
I was
Men
just I was just playing,
analogy.
bro. I was just playing.
No, no, no. The reason I think the Rock is a good example of
No,
what
he's
you're
not,
looking at. No, 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 because the Rock is not only fit, he's muscly, but he's not too muscly,
bro.
right?
That's too much muscle, bro. Like he's way too much muscle. Like
He
honestly,
is too
bro.
much muscle.
Yeah, that's not how you're supposed to look like as a boxer, bro.
No,
Like
no,
you,
no, not as a boxer. I'm talking about just a regular specimen of a human.
oh yeah, I mean he's just in like he's just sculpted, bro. Like he just it's all looks. Like if you put it down, it doesn't mean he can fight. You know, like
Okay, okay.
you know, like you want to be capable of being the fastest. You want to be capable of um, you know, having good
Mobility,
having yeah, good footwork. And if you have like
flexibility.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's all It's all about all that. Like you look at who's the best boxer in the world, bro. Like Inoue and fucking Crawford, they're both skinny, bro. Like they don't push a lot of weight. Like I heard, I keep hearing from different coaches that you just need to do 20 pounds as on your bicep, like even heavy weights, you know, like that's really all you're supposed to generate, bro. Like 20 to 30 pounds, you know, like that's
Yeah.
what I've been hearing. And then
No,
I'm
no,
like,
no, that is true though. That is true.
that's a lot of
For
weight, you know. So,
for a boxer, for a fighter in particular, you don't want to be muscly. But I'm talking in general, right? Like in general, let's say just a common man that's not a boxer. He doesn't have no aspirations to be a boxer. Do you would that individual want to particularly be extra bulky, extra muscly, and things of that sort? No, and I'll tell you the reason why. Because like Komi Ricky joked about, it is hard for you to scratch your back. Obviously, he's trying to make light of the whole situation, but the fact is, to become that type of specimen, you really have to dedicate yourself to that craft, which means you're gonna be a lot of the time in the gym. If you're trying to build that physique, you're gonna spend hours and hours in the gym. Now, why is that not a good thing? Because you also need to spend some time on your brain, right? So, a person that balances the physical the physical along with the mental, a person that exercises both the brain as a muscle and also the body as a temple, then that person is going to be better than the muscly guy. And he's also going to be much better than just the guy who spends all of his time equivalent to the bodybuilder reading books, because that guy that's reading books is not developing any muscle tone. He's not fortifying his physical. So that means that should he ever fight, guess what? His brains ain't going to help him beat up his aggressor. The bulky guy, he may look intimidating, but he's not necessarily going to be mobile and dexterous enough in order to fight, because those muscles get in the way. They make him slow, they make him inflexible. So, what is evolution when we consider man and womankind? It is a person that focuses on the strengthening of their body equally as they do with their mind, right? That's
All right,
exactly
hold on.
what the X Men is trying to say.
So yeah, so just to give you proper X-Men historical context, X-Men was created like in the 60s, right? And in the
Yeah,
60s there was a civil rights movement. So Magneto, he looks at oppression and he's like, dude, we gotta combat. Like we're mutants, we're fucking strong, we're different. We're stronger than these humans. We're trying to fit in with them. F that. And he tries to do it with violence. So he's supposed to be like Malcolm X. And Charles, right, which is Professor X or Xavier X or whatever. He's supposed to be Martin Luther King. He's like, no, 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 we're stronger than them. We have to try to fit in and be with them. So he's like Martin Luther King. So it's supposed to be like the civil rights movement, but just like any parable, it changes over time, or it can be adapted over time. And the analogy now is these X-Men probably fit more properly. The story of X-Men fit now with the LGBT, transgender people, and all of these motions, because, like you said, they're mutants, X-Men, genetic mutations are happening, and you said it's natural, you're right. So the thing is, this is like, again, going back to this whole machine that's behind them. They're trying to assert themselves and make it more common, I suppose, right? So that's the play, that's the agenda, right? And again, just like I said, there's room for them, just not against women. You have to have your category and your area. Transgender people, you fight one another. Period. That's as simple as it is. A transgender person should not be competing up against a man, because Jalalov is gonna knock out the transgender, heavyweight, and the transgender heavyweight should not fight against the woman heavyweight, because dude, it's just not fair. We're trying to have equality, equal rights, and all of this stuff, right? And the thing is, this they're here. They're here to stay. Transgender has no color. The silver, racism that has a color, but y'all do your thing. I gotta do something for work. Hold on.
okay. Dream, okay, let me ask you something. right? And I guess I will ask everybody out there, Cal Paradox, Eddie Medi, Mr. Vince Vargas, El Pachuco. Let us assume, right? Because I and the homie Ricky podcast, and also here at Life at Warp Speed, I especially myself, I like to ask questions. I don't like to just conclude anything, right? I'm not intelligent enough. I've never been informed enough about these matters. I actually don't care enough about these matters to be so firm and ardent an opponent, or even a proponent of any of these people, right? These concepts, these ideas. I'm a pretty happy individual. I have a happy, good thing going on. I like to keep it like that. Whenever I can, I like to find a way to make things work where I can live happily with things that may otherwise make other people unhappy, right? But I ask you, Dream, if my speculation about these fighters is true, that they may be intersex or hermaphroditic, right? That they may have male genitalia but female reproductive organs, right? If that would be the case, and you said, well, they should have their own division of fights, you know that it's one in every 1,500 people that is born as a hermaphrodite of one of the three types, right? That is like about 1% of the population. It's a nominal amount, right? There's not that many of these people, obviously, right? So I don't think the the opinion of making a division of boxing or pugilism or whatever type of athletic participation they want to get in, that is only for them, would work out, because not only is the level of competition never going to be enough because there are not that many in the first place, but secondly, it is true that they are females. They just may look like males. And if we're going to start discriminating or judging a person and behaving around them just because of their physical appearance, I think that's discriminating. I think that is prejudicial.
But you
I
have
don't.
to though.
No, 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 no,
You
no.
have
Not
to,
because
bro.
of physical appearance. Not
Listen,
because of
it's
physical appearance, homie Ricky. Listen to what I'm
look, bro.
saying.
It's
You
okay to accommodate to your needs, bro. Like for example, because if you don't, you're gonna be judging them in a standard where it's unequal for them to be judged. For example, all right, let's say I'm only Spanish speaking. So if I'm taking the SATs to go to college, it's all in English, and I'm barely learning the English language. So it's that test is prejudicial or discriminatory towards me. But if you accept me as Mexican American and I learn Spanish in my household, guess what? You're gonna moderate the test and be like, oh well, this fucking is pretty smart. He's not retarded because he got a 300 on the SATs. I am good enough to go to Yale College, Yale University or Harvard. But if you don't quote unquote discriminate against me, like, and you just be like, all right, dude, I know that you're Mexican American, you probably talk like this, blah blah blah, and you moderate the test to fit those needs. Like, bro, you mean to tell me we can accommodate and change the restrooms and for them, but we can't do that for the sport of boxing, or for them to compete? There is room enough, bro.
No,
There
no,
is
no.
room.
Look,
It's not.
look.
What are you
No,
talking about,
look.
man?
I'm talking about the physical appearance, right? The other stuff, the biological evidence that they may be male more
No,
so
no,
than
that wasn't
female.
your argument though. Your
No, 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 no,
argument, what
no.
you were
I
saying is
said
there's a little bit of them of minority. So like, the importance of them to win a gold medal because there's only three
no.
competitors
I didn't
means
even talk
nothing.
about gold
So they
medal. I didn't even say nothing
no,
like
but
that.
that's what
I
you were
was
kind of alluding
responding.
to.
No, no. I was responding to what Dream had stated. He said that in his opinion, the solution would be that these guys have a division of their own. And I'm saying that that is not a practical solution because there's not that many of them in the first place, right? The level of competition is just not going to be there. They might not even be interested enough to even partake in any of these sports to even make that a matter that can be resolved
Neither
by
is
that
it for
type of
Clarissa
solution.
Shields.
But
Look at
what I'm
look at
saying is
Clarissa
this. Here's
Shields.
the
She's a
thing, though.
four-time undisputed, and her competition is mediocre. She got that shit done in 12 fights. So
Uh-huh.
what?
That's why, and she writes into the sunset as one of the greatest fighters of all time, right? And that's only for the people that are, just accepting for what they are. But the fact of the matter is this, homie Ricky. If Imane Khalif and Lin Jutin are females at the same time as they are males, right? That is the evidence that you have to consider, not the physical, right? Because what I'm trying to get at is this: if a person looks like a male, but they may be in fact a female, right? You don't treat him like a male just because they look like it, or nor do you judge him as a male when every other evidence points to the fact that it is the opposite, right?
Right.
If a female is a female, just looks like a male, it's still a female. If a male is a male but looks like a female, dresses like a female, it's a male. That's my opinion, right?
Wait,
But
hold on. Let me
if
ask you this
but
though.
wait up, but if there is biological testing that states that they are more male than female, that is the criteria that should be used to place them in the league where they're going to fight. In other words, this is what I'm trying to say. If Imane Khalif or Lin Yutin are biologically more male than female, they should be fighting men. That's the solution, in my opinion.
Let
That's
me
what
let
I'm
me
trying to
ask you
get at.
this. Earlier we were talking about the eye test, and I think you said, "Well, if you put your pants down, we're gonna find out what you are." Just going back to the eye test, Iman Khalif, how would you describe her? What does she look like to you?
Well, okay, she doesn't have breasts. She has short hair. She has
Well, I don't know if she has short hair. She
strong
has
cheeks.
cornrows, so she has hair.
Well, I've seen other pictures, but she has short hair. Uh,
Uh,
so she looks like a man.
Correct. I mean, she to me she looks like a man, bro.
Yeah.
You know the shoulders, right? Facial structure, jawline,
Hmm.
um, everything about her looks like a man to me. And
Hmm.
then now you're saying that there's some biochemical test and they found high
Logical
levels
test.
of testosterone. Like now it's like kind of like Adi Medi says, if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's fucking Canelo, bro. That's a
No, no way. No, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Because here's the thing, Adamedi. If she wears short shorts and she has a beautiful wig and she's beautiful nose, and you're about to roll down the window and whistle at her, and she turns around to see you before you whistle, she has an Adam's apple. Is it a
it's called
woman? Just
entrapment, bro.
is it a woman? Is it a
No,
woman,
that's called a
Adamedi?
transvestite.
If it looks like a female and it walks like a female, and she turns around and has an Adam's apple, it's not a female just because it looked like it for a second. A man is a man, a woman is a woman. What I'm trying to say is this, homie Ricky. There are tests that would have indicated the levels of testosterone. And Mani Khalif and Lin Jutin, and if that would have been the test that they would have performed, then we would have at least had some concrete evidence that the IBA would have came out and said, you know what, we've determined these two individuals to be biological men because of their levels of testosterone. But they never did perform that test. They're being quite vague about it. And I'm sure it has something to do with HIPAA. They may not likely be able to legally reveal that without any violation thereof, so they didn't go that route. But some kind of test proved to them conclusively that they were men, right?
Let me
We
ask
don't
you
know that.
this. What if let me ask you this. What if Jarrell Miller this Saturday fights Andy Ruiz and knocks out Andy Ruiz? And we find out after the drug test that he has once again high levels of testosterone, and he goes, dude, you know what I mean? Like, have you guys done a biochemical test on me? Right? And then he'd be like, let's say he goes that way. Does the information now be disclosed? Like, that's the reason, like, you see those high levels of testosterone, dude. Because, no, actually, it doesn't make sense because he's not a female. But do you get what I'm saying? Like, you talked about HIPAA, and there's might be a violation of certain things. But it shouldn't be if right? And everything is going to be very vague because it's going to come down to terminology. But if you can disclose the information that exhibit A or person A, or in this case, this female fighter has high levels of testosterone, you can disclose that information and you can disqualify her. That's why they did it previously. What about now? Does she still have high levels of testosterone in this tournament? If so, why isn't she disqualified? Who cares about what she thinks she possibly is or what her passport says or whatever?
Exactly.
As of
Exactly.
right now, when you tested her, does she have high levels of testosterone? If she does,
Nobody
bar
wants to
her. She
reveal that.
cannot compete
Nobody
right now.
wants to reveal that though. They don't want to reveal that. That's the reason why
But we
that
review
is
it for every competitor because we want to know if they passed the drug test. Like
exactly.
why
So see,
why why
this is
should
what I'm
that
trying
be?
to
Oh
say,
no,
right?
because I don't
Exactly.
care about your identity. I care about that testosterone because
Yeah.
they're freaking blitzing these women and their faces are being, you said she rolled with the shot earlier, but dude, that chin got checked, her head turned, and the girl was like, "Nah, bro, I don't want this smoke.
Yeah. 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 So
I'm
yeah,
gonna raise my
look.
hand up and just be like, look, guys, I'm withdrawing. That punch hurt me."
Yeah. Let's just make it clear. Let's
That's
just
because
go.
of
Let's just
testosterone, not because she's trans. Because she's trans, bro.
yeah. Look. Let's just make sure that this comes out clear as day, right? If they perform a testosterone level, a hormonal test, and if it is determined that the testosterone levels are more akin to what a man has, yet this individual identifies as a female. But if there is any evidence to why she should be able to identify as a female, not because she just wants to identify, but because maybe she has physical organs akin to a female, what they should say is this: one, your testosterone levels still give you a disadvantage. I mean, it give you an advantage over all of your competitors, and they are levels more closer to the competitive levels of a male. So, although you may identify as a female, the more natural competitive thing would be to place you as a male to compete with men because of your hormonal levels. One or two, you also do have male and female traits, but yet, right? If you have more feminine traits, but yet you have these levels, you're either cheating or, again, you should be fighting men, right? That's the solution to me. She's either cheating and she should be disqualified, or she has testosterone levels closer to what a male's is, so she should be fighting men in the first place. And if the IO's, the International Olympic Committee, is not enforcing that for the safety and the security of the other competitors, then guess what? I think that the Italian Carini was dead to rights to make a statement and say, until you guys are clear and forthcoming and do not equivocate with what your stance is in this situation, I will walk off of this tournament and protest. I will go in there and I will make a statement by taking just one punch and acting like it's the toughest punch ever thrown by any fighting individual in the world, more so than Gennady Golovkin, and I will make it seem like it's such a disadvantage to fight this individual. And that's my protest. In that case, I understand her. It may seem cowardly, it may be embarrassing for her and her nation. At least that's the way that she should take it, right? But if she's trying to do it for the greater good, which is saying, you know what, you, the Olympic Committee, you, the IBA, you, the rest of the world, have to speak up now and say, is this fair? Is this what we want?
Yeah, no, I agree. And honestly, that's all it has. That's where it should end right then and there. Like this conversation doesn't need to go any further because, bro, it's a very easy solution, and it's a very like again, this is not a big fucking problem, bro. Like it's just not a big problem. The solution is very simple, but like again, there is an agenda that the powers that be that run this sports and this organization, this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to create controversy when it's very obvious that there shouldn't really be one because this is a very simple task to solve. That's it, man.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
know,
no, you're right. You're right, homie Ricky. I mean, here's the thing. Let's just go down to just analyzing the ceremony, right? We are talking about the best athletes in the world, right? We are supposed to see Adonises and and the fighters, the fastest men in the world, the biggest leapers, the more gymnastic individuals, the best swimmers in the world. And the opening ceremony demonstrated a morbidly obese individual at the center of the screen, the antithesis of the athlete, the person that shows restraint and sacrifice in order to be athletic and competitive and to be a winner. What we had before us, right there, smack dab in the center of the screen, was the opposite. A person that does not show any kind of restraint against foodstuff. That probably the only physical activity they have is to wake up out of bed to go to the restroom or to the kitchen more so to get more food. A person that accepts who they are, and that is a person that probably will live a short life because of their unhealthy habits. How can we present to the world the best athletes after we present to them as introduction some of the worst despicable people that would offend instead of unite the Olympics about the unity of the world for a few months every 4 years in order to compete? And we got presented to us an anti-Christian, sexual revolutionary presentation that was meant to offend and to ridicule and to show us how best not to live. Wow. This is not the way it should be. This is the definition of a forced agenda. This is not trying to find a synthesis for our differences. This is not evolution. This is not a positive mutation. This is, in fact, a disintegration of society being presented to us and forced upon us. And it's almost quite decadent. Ladies and gentlemen, Warp Speed, if anything, loves this community, right? I've tried to develop a community where you can express yourself, where you can be yourself. That's why I don't judge people for being gay. I don't judge people for being flamboyant or being of a difference of opinion, right? But I don't force you to be a brown individual, low riding Chicano like myself, right? Just like I don't expect you to force me to be closer to who you are. We accept each other for who we are, and we congregate in order to find ways to rekindle with ourselves and to live in harmony. What is taking place right now in society, as exemplified by this Olympic committee and the Olympic ceremony, is the opposite of that. I hope we never allow ourselves to crumble and disintegrate and to be as decadent as we've seen in the past few days from this organization that's supposed to exemplify the greatest of mankind's physical abilities through athletics and sportsmanship and proper conduct, propriety. It is quite the opposite. Now, I'm gonna call it a night. I think we've been concise enough to address all the matters surrounding these controversies. I hope that although perhaps our words may have offended others, I hope they understand that we are coming from a place that expects greatness and unity from us, the human individual, and not the division, and not the reasons to argue and strive to dislike each other. We are here to unite, not to separate. And we will attack anybody and everybody who would offend our community, whether it's the Homie Ricky podcast or Life at Warp Speed channel. This also goes to all of our local vicinities and localities. Before we go off on that, I will just thank Dream123. I will thank Homie Ricky for his participation, and I'll read a couple of these messages just to acknowledge our faithful and wonderful listeners. Eddie Medi goes off and says, "My dad came out as a woman, but now I can't see her anymore because she's a transparent. I love beans that have a lot of vitamin P2. That's a Mexican joke. Do serpito beans." Homie Ricky says, "You have vitamin Pita like I like to wait." Uh, uh, El Pachuco says, "Lack of transparency." Yeah, a lot of this revolves around the lack of transparency, their equivocation, this this lack of clarity. El Pachuco. Mr. Vince Vargas says he wants to be Andy Ruiz. Yeah, it's quite easy, Mr. Vince Vargas. All you have to do is buy yourself a bunch of Snickers bars, maybe a couple of Three Musketeers, and buy yourself a couple of Humvees, and you'll be fine. Eddie Medi says, "Yeah, I too want to be Fat Vince." Yeah, he wants to be fat, right? Dream, are you still there?
Yep, I'm still here. What's up?
You want to read a couple of these messages? These guys are hilarious, man. I don't want to read them because I feel like I have to laugh. And the problem with that is because there's quite a few of them, and if I
Where
start
would I
laughing too
start?
much, well, any of them you can pick. They're hilarious, every single one. Mr. Vince Vargas talking about he wants to be Emiliano Vargas. Mr. Eddie Medi saying he wants to be Imane Khelif.
Yeah, dude, I kind of want to read Ricky's comment
What
right
is
there.
what do you say?
Berlanga is plus 775 versus Canelo. Nah, I don't
What
think
the?
that's
What does that
like.
mean?
Oh, that means like the odds aren't high enough, bro. Like, like they're giving him a solid chance, bro. Like, honestly, I'm surprised it's not like a plus 1,000. You know, above that. You know, they're actually giving him some kind of shot. But I'm pretty sure the odds are gonna move closer we get to the fight. So
So you
yeah,
don't
dude.
give Edgar Berlanga any kind of shot?
No. Like, honestly,
Wow.
it's like Canelo's might just carry this guy to like make the fight seem good type of shit. Like kind of the same thing with Jaime Mugia. Whew, I had to sneeze. Sorry. But yeah, I feel like that's what he's gonna
Gesundheit.
do. Something similar to what he did with the Jaime Munguia. So yeah,
Well,
wouldn't
I,
be
I think
surprised. But I think he should get knocked out though, like from what Canelo is capable of, because we seen it with Jaime Munguia, and I was like, dude, you see the potential. He just carried him. You know, and I feel like he's gonna do the same thing with Berlanga. So
mm,
yeah,
well, look, I give every fighter a chance, right? Especially a young, hungry fighter that knows that this is his biggest opportunity to make a name for himself, to be the face of boxing, to have an opportunity to upset the guy. I think Edgar Berlanga is gonna go out there and fight with gusto. Like he always does, right? He's a come forward fighter that's very aggressive and never ever takes a step back. Um, Perfect for Canelo, right? But that also means that Canelo is quite similar like that. If if Edgar Berlanga comes over there to just give us six incredibly tough, action-packed rounds, maybe he catches Canelo with something. But if he
yeah,
once they all box Canelo, yeah, it's over. He ain't got no chance, man. I'm just thinking about the head movement, how it would frustrate Edgar Berlanga, and how it would just set him up for so many counters, man. Even a quick knockout. I think I think Canelo could knock out Edgar Berlanga where he couldn't knock out Jaime Munguia. right? I think Jaime Mugia has just an incredible chin, good abilities, but I don't see that in Edgar. But if he goes out there with gusto just to throw, yeah, I won't discount Edgar. In fact, you know what? I'll say it right here. I'll say it right here. Edgar better beat Canelo. He better
Oh,
beat him. I wanted to beat him.
nah, it shouldn't be that much. Like like
Why?
honestly, he has no chance, bro. He has absolutely no chance. Like, you really think Edgar Berlanga has any type of tool to beat Canelo besides, like, honestly, his power? Like, honestly, I even think he takes his power. You know, like we're talking about someone with the granite chin, bro. Like, he's gonna be able to take his take his best punch, bro. Like, honestly, he's gonna have to just stay there and take the punch, type of thing, because he's
Hmm.
gonna see it coming from a mile away, bro. Like, dude, Edgar's footing is horrible. He loads up on his shots. You know when it's coming, bro. He's gonna like school him. Like, he's gonna school him.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be a fucking clinic. Just by the way Canelo naturally moves when he shadow boxes and when he does his little movements with the bags and stuff like that. I still feel like his head movement is made for Berlanga's punches, bro. You know, like,
Hmm.
just by the way he punches, like it's just a matter of, like, it's just the real question is he gonna knock him out, or is he gonna go the distance with him? Like, is he gonna carry him, or is he actually gonna need to, like, go the whole fight genuinely, like, because this dude's putting in some work, But I mean, Berlanga talks a big game. Like, as of recently, like, he talks a big game and he says, "Oh, I'm gonna show my crazy IQ," and I'm like, I didn't see that your last fight, you know, I didn't see
Yeah.
that, and then you're just, man. I keep bringing this up when I talk about Berlanga, but it's just his footing. There's too many examples. But now there's too many examples, bro. I can show you too many examples of this guy's footing when he lunges, his
Hmm.
his knees, like when he like throws like a hook or throws anything outside, like coming, yeah, any type of hook, like he lunges on his shots and you see his knee is literally like 4 3 3 4 inches off the ground, and it's like, dude,
Jeez.
that's horrible, like, movement, bro. Like, you need to stay more base, like,
Hmm.
stay more, uh what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you need to be above your knee. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, his footing is just like, what are you doing? Like, he just, that's where his power comes from, is him
Hmm.
from him doing that. Like, he
Yeah.
just loads up so much, and that's what makes him powerful.
But
um
to his credit, even though he's had a couple of knockdowns in his career, guess what? He's always overcome, right? We have to give him that credit. That although he is a flawed fighter, he's been dropped, he's been hurt, he's been hit flush. He always comes out on top, and that's really what we wanted of a fighter, right? We want a fighter that can overcome those hard situations, and learn from them. Now that's really the matter. That's really the question right there. Is Edgar Berlanga a better fighter now from all of his mistakes, and he's learned something, or hasn't he? And I guess I'll ask you that question right there. Is Edgar Berlanga a fighter that's learned something?
we're gonna have to see, man, because honestly,
You don't see
he's
it, huh?
I just want to hear by the what he says, and honestly, like, I don't think it even matters what he says, bro. Like, he's shown that he, I feel like he wasn't, like, genuine when he was talking about his uh his game, like his IQ wasn't there, and he said he's gonna show it, and it's like, nah, dude, like, that's really what you need. So he knows what he needs to do. He just
Yeah.
doesn't do it. Like, um you look good, like, when you're training. It's just, you you don't know how to time these guys up. You don't know how to set your shots up properly, you know? like you see some kind of improvement from his first fight. That like definitely. Um, but now that he's at fighting some type of he's fighting like like better opposition now, and they're not even the best opposition. This dude's like getting knocked down, you
Mhm.
know. Um, so I think it's an easy matchup. I think there's so many levels. He's so many levels above Berlanga, bro. Um,
Dr- Dream, let me ask you, man. Have you ever hung out with old Mexican men that are perverts? Like,
Old
have you ever
Mexican.
worked with like a Mexican old man that's a pervert?
Most of them are, yeah.
You're right. You're absolutely right. You got it. Okay. Well, they say stuff, right? Like Arimedi, just read when he says, like my grandma used to say, si tiene el chiquito, le pongo mi pito. Wise old man rip, right? Si tiene el chiquito, le pongo mi pito. You know what that means?
Yep.
All right, all right. Well, there's more. There's more. There's there's another one. These are all weird, man. They're pretty like I don't know how to describe it, right? But they're pretty homosexual. Like there's this other one. Si tiene hoyo hasta de pollo means if it has a hole, even a chicken.
Damn.
And then there's another one, and I only know this because I know a lot of Mexican pervs, right? There's this one. Si tiene agujero hasta de caballero. Oh my god! And I'm like, shut up, dude! How you come up with these?
Yeah.
And they're okay. They're offensive. I just want to throw it in there because that's perverted old man stuff.
Yeah.
So Eddie Meddy continues, and I told him, Eddie Meddy, bad Eddie. Oh, Cal Paradox thinks I should take a Chicano DNA test. Dream, do I pass a Chicano DNA test, or is my testosterone levels too high for that one also?
Nah, bro. Like you really sound like it, bro.
And I
Like
have the cards to prove
you
it.
sound like a Chicano.
Hey, but so if I look like a Chicano, I walk like a Chicano, talk like a Chicano, I'm a Chicano. Cal Paradox thinks I'm a Spaniard. He thinks I'm a, what's that word that they use a lot on Instagram? A colonizer. I guess Cal thinks I'm a colonizer. Eddie says I'm more Chicano than George Lopez. And Imane Khelif is not Eddie proudest fap. My goodness. How can you fap to that, Addy? Bad Addy. Bad Addy. Speed is the Chicano Rachel Dolezal. I gotta look at that and find out who the heck is Rachel Dolezal. Who the heck is that? Does Vegas bet on the Olympics? Yeah, I think they do. I think you can bet on anything, right? Dream, can you bet on the
Yeah, I
Olympics?
think. Yeah, I think today's or like tomorrow or today's like the last day. I think it's tomorrow. Tomorrow's the finals, I believe. So I'm not too sure. Maybe it's Saturday as well. But yeah. Oh no, it's not Saturday because those are the Terrence Crawford fights. So I don't think. I think it's tomorrow is the finals and it's the last day. But it's really tough, man. Like, dude, I almost hit this parlay, man. I could have won a lot of money, but it's just unpredictable. You know, I don't know what would happen. Uh, I'm guessing man, that dude, that trans was favored in that fight, anyways, right?
Hmm.
I'm guessing, I'm guessing he was already like favored to win gold. Once he was already in the bracket. So I don't
Hmm.
know. Um, so yeah, those type of bets, like I don't know. But yeah, tomorrow's the last day. I
Yeah.
got my own little parlays going if you want to hear them
Yeah, go for it. What are your parlays, man?
before I go to sleep right now. So
Yeah, go for it.
um I'm pulling it up right now, so give me like
Okay.
two
All right.
seconds.
The homie Ricky says Jaime has heart, but Edgar doesn't have Cora. Cora means heart. The Chicano. There you go, Cal. Cora. That's one for you, buddy. It means heart. The homie Ricky says Edgar better BF Canelo. I can't believe they. Eddie Medi says, I can't believe they have their own ocean, the transatlantic ocean. The
Uh,
transatlantic. That's hilarious, man. Eddie Medi is a legend.
yeah, he's
He
good.
is, yeah. He's like Rodney Dangerfield
Yeah.
of YouTube.
You want to hear my bets? I got 'em right
Yeah,
here.
go for it. Go for it.
All right, for $40,
Yeah.
$40, I can win 82 bucks. Right.
What?
Um.
That doesn't
Yeah.
seem like a good.
No,
Okay.
it's just a 3-team parlay though, and they're solid
Oh,
bets.
okay.
So I got David Morrell by knockout, and then Isaac Cruz by knockout, and then Terrence Crawford by knockout. You know, so
Hmm.
Morrell's gonna fight that dude Hot Rod, and
Hmm.
he's really um, like he's stationary a lot. On his on his feet.
Hot
You
Rod.
know, yeah, Hot Rod. I think he has a chin. It's just that Morrell has a good variety of punches, and he's just there to get hit, type of shit. So
Hmm.
yeah. Um,
Yeah,
but
those are
yeah, and
good
then I
ones.
got
Yeah.
this other $40 parlay with those same three picks, but I added Bacoli, Martin Bacoli by knockout to knock out Jared Anderson, right? And then along with that, I got Andy Ruiz by knockout plus
Hmm.
250 to knock out Big Baby Miller.
Hmm.
I think that's a solid bet right there. $40, and then all
Yeah, I think so
for
too.
for all five of those for 1,300 bucks. So we'll see.
That's not bad, man. That's not bad. I think that's a great
Yeah,
set of picks, man. That's actually pretty good.
it's that Martin Bacoli one. That's that's a hard one to get. Because a lot of people got him winning. A lot of people got him winning. By knockout. If he's gonna win one way, it'll be by knockout. You know, Jared Anderson is just good for the long run, and he actually knows how to like box, you know, and win rounds. So um, it could go either way for Jared, but Bukoli by knockout, I got that in the parlay. And then Andy Ruiz by knockout because um, I think Jared, Big Baby Miller, just he's not ready for those fat cats, you know. So, but I'm 50-50 too because a lot of people got Big Baby Miller beating Andy Ruiz. So that's why I don't have that in the main parlay,
Mhm.
you know. So because I got Pitbull by knockout, Morel by knockout, and Crawford by knockout.
Wow. Everybody by knockout, basically.
Yeah, yeah. And usually that's how they goes, knockout, knockout, knock.
Yeah.
That's usually how fights go. So here and there you get some decisions, but majority of them go by knockout. And if it's by decision, majority of them are gonna go by decision. Like you could just kind of see a pattern. But
Yeah. I think yep, I would say you've set yourself up for a victory. A big bag right there.
yeah,
Eddie Medi says, let me repeat this joke before I go. Heard Imani Khalif copped a sponsorship deal with her, she, chocolate. Wow. This guy's a genius, man. He's literally he's spoiling us, man. He's wasting his talents. He should be performing at some kind of comedy club. He's like one-liners galore. The homie Ricky says you just gave out a slogan for their Hershey campaign. Eddie, LOL. Yeah, no, he's a genius. Eagle Eye transcodes all of our messages to the AI algorithm. They studying our ideas. Yeah, I think so. Identifies Michael Jackson. She, he, she. Eddie Medi laughs. I'm dead. Dream. Look, before we end this night, right? I want everybody to just what did the young kids say, right? I'm gonna be vulgar right here. I apologize for my French guys, but I think it's called calm your tits, right? When we address everything going on around Imane Khalif and Lin Yutin, calm your tits. We don't know better. Let's find out what happens. Let's give these guys a chance. These ladies, men, whatever. It was just like a bad choice of words, right? Give these individuals a chance. Let's not presuppose we know a situation, but I do have those ideas that if it happens to be that these fighters may be hermaphroditic and they may have genitalia for both sexes, and that's the reason why they can legally identify as females on passports and pass these tests in order to represent their nations as fighters, well, then that is a technicality that should be worked around, right? Either make it clear and consent that these technicalities can allow these fighters to fight, or be clear as day and say they can't. Perhaps testosterone should be a testing criteria on whether or not fighters get to fight, because it is either an indication of cheating, or two, it is an indication of the affirmation of a biological sex. And I am of the mind that a biological male is supposed to fight a biological male, a biological female fight a biological female, right? I also want my Jewish brothers and sisters to calm their tits. I want them to understand that Christians, we sympathize with them. We love them. I have a lot of friends. I've met a lot of people
Yeah, I'm
that
a
are
Christian.
Jewish. I know. I know you are. And I've never heard you ever say anything bad about a Jew. Right? I've never been told anything bad about by a Jew in my life. And I've
Yeah, I don't
never
get it.
said anything bad. I don't get it either. I've never. Right? But you don't see us in our own shows that are Christian based. We don't go out there and just ridicule your religion or your experience. We don't do that. We calm our tits, right? In fact, our Savior, Jesus, he is a Jew, right? So we calm our tits. When our brothers and sisters of the Jewish denomination, of the Jewish faith, attack us unfairly, and you don't agree with that, speak your mind. It is not fair to instill division and hatred and resentment and these differences of our faiths, because at the end of the day, we are brothers and sisters, and we are all humans. We should find a way to live in harmony. Calm your tits, everybody. Take a deep breath. Don't get carried away. But yes, stand up for your rights. Stand up for what you think is fair. Yes, I do believe that when the Italian fighter Angela Carini decided to walk out from a fight after taking just one punch, which in my opinion was not flush, yes, I do think it is cowardly. Yes, I think it is a missed opportunity for her to beat this killer that everybody was supposed to be afraid of, right? She could have performed. She could have represented the valor and the feistiness of her nation, the Italians, Italy. And win or lose, she would have at least given an effort. In my opinion, she did quit. But I also believe she quit for the right reasons, which is she wants to stand up for clarity. She wants to stand up for everything besides equivocation. The IOC, the International Olympic Committee, the IBA, has to stand firm in their decisions and explain what the world of boxing is going to do regarding these matters going forward. The lack of clarity and firmness in their stance and their implementation of the rules is making for an unfair environment, and all we ever cared about is a chance. Everybody deserves a chance, a fair, justified chance. I hope we've addressed this matter with the severity and the sternness that it required. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, try to find a way to make it work for you. Calm your tits. for Dream 123, the homie Ricky, and your interlocutor, your psychonaut and fellow space cadet, the warp speed. I hope you are well of health and sane of mind, and I do bid you adieu. He's the Andrew Dice Clay. Man, I'm so old. I don't even know who these guys are. But ladies and gentlemen, again, I bid you adieu. Dream. Have a wonderful night. Engage.
All right, man. Peace.
Peace.